Australia win the first Test match and retain the Frank Worrell Trophy, a once proud trophy now relegated to whatever we just watched over the course of 2 and a bit days. Australia win the game by 10 wickets. Unfortunately for the Whoppers wanting one of our greatest ever players to fail, unfortunately he remains 10 not out, opening the batting. Good things might happen in the future for those guys that want different guys in the team. Pezza, I want to shout out Adelaide. Can I just shout out Adelaide, who have genuinely turned up for one of the worst Test matches this country has seen, at least in this millennia. There was 26,000 for the first 2 days. There was 12,000 there today as well, knowing that the game was going to last 8 minutes. It is a wonderful place to watch cricket. They the way they've done it there is fucking incredible. They deserve better. Maybe we all deserve better. Maybe it's not just Adelaide. Maybe we all deserve better. But I just want to shout out Adelaide for fucking getting behind the cricket. They do get a T20, I think it might be, against the West Indies, which, we're all looking forward to. But apart from that, that's the end of cricket at the Adelaide Oval for this summer. But, mate, fair fucks to them over there because they've got behind it. And that's kudos, I want to say. Bank Arena.
The arena? Yeah, I was starting to get confused as to whether you were... giving credit to the home stadium of the Sydney Kings. Now, yes, mate, what do you say? The reason why they've been relegated is very connected to the fact that Test cricket is in decline. Oh, not meant to say that. It's actually pretty good. Australia has won by 10 wickets inside 2.5 days and played shit.
Mm-hmm.
Ergo, Australian cricket is in rude health when we're not happy and we're winning in that manner. So that's good. But Adelaide would get a good Test match if the powers that be in cricket protected the Test format with some Skrilla. But that's for another time, that conversation. What I want to talk about is Hoff not getting 10 poles, getting 9 poles. See, that's light switch stuff for me. That's me not sleeping tonight. Okay? That's me disappointed. On the other hand, when he walked off the field holding the ball aloft, having taken 5, I haven't seen a mitt hoover up a ball like that in a minute. So, swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to cover off a couple of things from today. He goes...
Yeah.
Shamar Joseph.
I remember someone used to...
Yeah, go on.
Someone used to hang around our club called the Hoover. And let me tell you, there was some hoovering going on involving mitts and indeed balls. She was actually a key part of the club and actually got us through a lot of hard times, especially when 1s and 2s weren't so strong for a couple of years there. But she sort of brought the group together. Sorry, you're just talking about the Hoover, and I was just thinking about my experiences with that. Shamar Joseph, that was good. He bowled 3 balls and not really sure why he didn't open the bowling. I understand there's a hierarchy and that is the reason, but he has been by far and away the best player. Australia's won the game won the Test match in the space of mere hours, and if it wasn't for their numbers 10 and 11 batting, who put on 80 of the 300 runs they scored in this game would have been over in the second session on day 1. So we should be thanking the West Indies. I think it's been a wonderful spectacle and a credit to the game, and I think this actually shows how strong the game is across the world, and everything's all good.
Rude health, absolutely rude health. Playing against blokes wearing ice creams, buying kit from fucking Kmart in Adelaide a couple of days before the game. Game's in fucking sensational health. Shamar Joseph comes out to bat. Everyone's looking for that early tea time. And he had other plans, a bit of pantomime stuff, then getting his laces tied up again. He's probably an 8 or 9 with the bat. What are any of us doing? Just wanted to just pick up on the subplot of Smith having to bat again. When Shamar Joseph crunches his first ball for 4. Thus taking the Windies into a lead or some shit. The camera then pans to Smith. How nervous will this guy be who has nearly 9,000 Test runs? And I have to say though, the camera person did very well as Smith walked out. They gave you that kind of POV shot. Now I'm not saying that Smith's got to a camera on his helmet like some nonsense do on YouTube, but he's got that guy on a fucking Segway next to him, and he says nonsense on YouTube like absolutely destroying blokes who just want to play a bit of cricket on a Saturday. You know. Anyway, you never see that. You never see those guys just being roundly beaten outside the off stump or getting out. Anyway, but as Smith's walking out to bat, and the TV coverage is kind of confecting this as like one of those tricky little periods where there's just everything to lose and nothing to win. You could actually see the eyes of like 3 or 4 of the West Indies cordon on Smith, and I actually got myself a little like flourish of anxiety remembering what it is like to walk out to bat when you have like at least 4 or 5 pairs of eyes on you, as though like with Smith, everybody knows who he is, but people are looking at him like they've seen an alien. You know, like you know that feeling. It's about me. Everybody's looking at me. Like you may as well be naked in a dream, walking down a promenade with the most dishevelled sports cock possible. Like that sort of was the feeling, and I thought that was nice because I felt something. You know, I was like, oh, Smith sounds good. You know, but the reality of it, he goes, is that while the West Indians might be looking at him out of a reflex to try and kind of intimidate him or whatever. The truth is that like they will be really disgruntled that Shamar Joseph had hit that boundary, took them into a lead, thus meaning they had to get changed. And they stand there in the cordon receiving little hits of dopamine with every run that ticks it closer to 26 or 27, which means they can get out of here. Whilst at the same time performing, like sort of engaging in that performative, forlorn frustration at an impending loss. Such is the theatre of cricket. I'm just saying, like, obviously this feels like real filler conversation, but these are the small little things that go on in the game.
I also really enjoyed Pezza when they put in a deep point, just a sweeper, just in case, just to sort of stem the tide of runs while chasing 26. Really enjoyed that little theatre.
You got to control the scoreboard.
You got to build pressure in different ways in Test cricket. What you need to understand is, Pezza, I really enjoyed just imagining in my head the amount of tweets that were being drafted and then having to be deleted, unfortunately, because whilst your team winning, sure, that's all well and good, but what's even better than that is that you were right.
Yes.
And that's what people fucking hanging out. I even felt the commentators, like, anytime, like, Alzari Joseph, like, beat Smith outside the off stump, or there was a couple of tight leaves off Kemar Roach, sort of, I feel like the commentators were invested, but like, we nearly got a story. You know? and then Khawaja gets fucking hit in the face. Not as good, but maybe Pezza, that means that unfortunately Brisbane won't get to see their he's not even an adopted son. I feel like it's been changed legally. Usman Khawaja claims that he is a Queenslander, which is so uncomfortable when you also are from the state where he was literally, grew up and grew his cricket. That is New South Wales.
That is Islamabad.
So maybe Queensland... Exactly, yeah. Maybe the Queenslanders won't get to see Usman, their hometown hero, play in Brisbane. We're recording this like literally seconds after the last ball's been bowled. So, it was fucking nasty, is what it was, being hit in the face underneath the grill. That could be it could be bad, or it could be not so bad. Those are your two options. But maybe we're looking at a couple of options here. Maybe Nick Gill, Henry Hunt, did some stuff for Australia, replacing Usman there, top of the order. What are your thoughts?
Could be a fractured jaw for Usman. It also, as you say, it might not be. Looked like he bit his tongue as well. I actually did something really rude in the house. We're working from home today. My wife's working from home as well. Working on a cover letter to apply for, a consultancy role as a doctor. And I asked her to watch it and tell me what she was seeing. But as she started to say some stuff, Copes jumped over the top on commentary and started to talk about the ears ringing. I said, shh, Copes is talking.
Well, Pezza, once again, the ICC have forced Usman Khawaja to bite his tongue. That's
indeed. Yeah. The all-powerful ICC. So let's say it's a fractured jaw, and the Bancroft lovers might go, "Ooh, is that little opening?" He's got one problem though. That means Renshaw will come in for Khawaja, as we pronounce him, unavailable for the Gabba, mere seconds after the incident itself, and that means that Marcus Harris will come in as a reserve. Bancroft lovers apoplectic. Little do they know that after Marcus Harris has a couple of other options. As you said on text, here goes Dan Hughes, I think would be next cab off the rank
Daniel
there.
Hughes.
Then you look at
Daniel Hughes, I think.
Tim Ward's been playing well, former New South Wales player. Henry Hunt, former New South Wales groomed player, now in South Australia. Sam Constas is with the Australian under-19 side. Now he's been batting in the middle order for New South Wales, but he can also open the batting as a top order player. I know Nick Larkin has opened the batting for Sydney Uni before. There's a lot of guys who've been bashing down the doors at various clubs and actually at various times in their life, who will also be up against Cameron Bancroft for that 13th man spot to mix a sports drink. And that will be a conversation over the next 72 hours or whatever the fuck. Then we also got to see...
I think you're selling short. Ollie Davies has had a couple of good scores in the Shields. Jason Sanger shows some promise as well.
Scored 100 once.
Yeah, that's right.
Jack Edwards.
Mickey Edwards. Yeah, I was going to go for Mickey, who's actually playing for Yorkshire.
Bowling for Yorkshire, good shout. Good shout.
Yeah, I think there's lots of options. There's lots of ways they can go,
Which is great. It just reflects the depth of Australian cricket, and Bancroft's in the queue, and the message to Cameron is just to keep doing what you're doing. Keep scoring runs or doing whatever you want to do. I should really say. You just enjoy yourself.
He's just got to keep scoring runs for the Thunder, even though they got washed out last night in the last game of the round. He's just got to keep doing what he's doing.
Sean Marsh,
just keep doing it.
Sauce, and maybe an SOS to Dave Warner as well.
There could be. I think actually those are all viable options.
Yeah. Saw Marnus Labuschagne. You notice when Marnus Labuschagne walks out to bat, he really looks like he's carrying a box of watermelons under each arm. I kind of like it. It's just I don't think the chest or the girth of the arm is like necessitates I guess the angle at which he holds the elbows out. Just saying it's a presence. Is he peacocking as he walks out to bat?
Well, they call that invisible lat syndrome, Pezza, which can be a crippling disease for those of the skinny variety. Pezza, I want to shout out our sponsor right now, Smith Optics. SmithOpticsAustralia.com is the website to reinvigorate and bring some life into this otherwise dog shit summer, okay? The Frank Worrell Trophy deserves people around the country wearing Smith Optics sunglasses. SmithOpticsAustralia.com is the website. Use the code FAST for 25% off your order. That's right. You only have to pay 3/4 of the price of full price sunglasses. Thanks to TGC, thanks to Smith Optics Australia. Use the code FAST at that website if you want to get 25% off these bad boys or the bad boys that Pezza's wearing right now. Pezza, what else do you want to talk about? Hazelwood, 9 he's good. He's often been the guy that gets left out, Hazelwood, though, isn't he? Like I'm going back even to the 2019 World Cup when he was at the time the number one ODI bowler, whatever rankings mean. Nothing, he goes? That's correct, nothing. But he was the number one ODI ranked bowler at the time. They left him out because they wanted to get him firing. Are you doubling up?
I just want to see if these glasses are bigger, like so big as to cover the other one. Someone called me a dentist overnight wearing these. And I said, ain't that tooth? Sorry, mate.
9 out of 10 dentists agree. Hazelwood, generally speaking, though, he's been a guy that's been left out in the away tours. They prefer Stark, probably for some footwork, reverse swing stuff, although that seemed to just not really happen anymore after 2018 when they had no away tour to South Africa, and I don't really remember what happened after that, but it's but Hazelwood's often been the guy that's left out. He didn't play the World Test Championship final because Boland was preferred ahead of him for the game against India at the Oval there. It's a guy that's averaging what is he, average 25, 26, 260-odd test polls, 9 for here. So there was some stat going around, so he's taken 13 for 81 in his last several innings combined. That's not really how cricket works, but it's also good numbers and good stats if that's how you enjoy your cricket, which many people do. Mate, it's just a great day out for the bush horse. It's steady, it's country, it's R.M. Williams, it's a sick fade, he's been married, he's probably got a kid in the way. It's all looking very, very good. Travis Head, for my player of the game in a low-scoring game, 120 half the runs for Australia in there, and he's just about. So I don't know, mate. What are we looking at?
Well summarised. I I don't think Josh Hazelwood needs a biography or know all about a biography now. I think you pretty much summed up where he's at in life. 260-odd bowls, 25, married, probably got a kid on the way, lives over there in Hunter Seal near Tedesco and Benji Marshall. He's from the country. He gives people a feeling, bush horse stuff. A CSK, Dhoni probably likes him.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good career in cricket. The hair's looking good, sail's looking good, fitter than ever. Is there an Indian summer for Hoff? It gets left out, comes back in, does the job. It's white ball stuff too. That's just me making a horse noise. And then Lid probably gets player of the match because he's the only guy who could score runs on a pretty tough deck. Just mentioning for the second day in a row, deck. Was it a bit how you're going in terms of the inconsistency of the bounce? I'd suggest a game finishing in 2.25 days is worthy of the question. It's worthy of the question, but we're from Australia, and I don't think the rules apply to us. And when it's sort of with seam bowling as well, it's just a little bit different. It's sort of the same as spin, like it's a question of truth and winning. But nevertheless, I think Lid because that's the thing that won the match. A couple of guys were able to take bags of wickets, so that's Shamar Joseph gets five, score some runs. Didn't Camo take 4 as well in the first dig or something? He did something.
Correct.
And, it was too long ago to remember. And then Hoff with 9. So guys are able to take bags, but Lid was the only one who could score runs. So that ultimately ends up the difference. If he doesn't score it, who knows what goes on? Well, in fact, Australia probably still wins by 10 wickets. Good
Right.
summary, mate. Looking forward to Nick Larkin coming in.
Yeah, that's right. And plenty of guys taking bags, given that it's Friday afternoon. People at the back right now having a great old time. Weekend off for the boys, tea times, bags deluxe, everything's looking up. TGC fans, cricket fans, Australian fans, probably even the West Indies boys, if I'm honest. If I'm being in the cold light of day, I'm thinking they could be doing a lot worse than having 3 days off there in Adelaide. All right, well, we move on to the Brisbane Test match starting sometime next week. You know what? It's actually the exact same time as the Hyderabad Test match between India and England. We'll be covering both of those games, which is amazing because they're literally on at exactly the same time. That being, of course, because the Brisbane Test is a pink ball test. So there you go, and that's how time zones work, generally speaking. We'll be back for a longer form discussion, probably talking about what the fuck we just watched over the last 2 and a bit days, what it all means, how you are doing, generally speaking, and also, if everything goes well, Glenn Maxwell will be on the show. That is going to come out on Monday afternoon, Australian Eastern Time, available on the usual platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, etc. So please do join us then. In the meantime, if you want to get behind us, patreon.com/GreatCricketer, and you can join the live chat going on there. And also, #AskTGC Fridays came out at midnight last night. So that's a weekly show, 1 hour long per week, if you want to get behind us there. Otherwise, Pezza, I think that's it. And we'll see you guys on Monday.